Right now at noon, the Missouri Public Service Commission invites Liberty customers out to a town hall addressing concerns about the utility provider. Right now at noon, the Missouri Public Service Commission invites Liberty customers out to a town hall addressing concerns about the utility provider.
And we have rain chances that linger all the way into the weekend.
Plus, a former Missouri congressman who wanted to eliminate the IRS now gets to run it.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Residents and customers with Liberty Utilities give testimony and speak on issues with the electric company. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. Now, the meeting put on by the Missouri Public Service Commission is part of a larger investigation into Liberty's billing and customer service issues. KOAM's Anthony Saviello has more.
A full parking lot and a door that never closes as residents walk into the Missouri Southern Justice Auditorium to make their voices heard.
I just kind of found this out. 30 years to pay for that mess up at Asbury Plan is insane.
The meeting put on by the Missouri Public Service Commission serves as a way for commission staff to gather evidence in a case against Liberty Utilities.
We've heard a number of people say that they are having billing issues and service issues across the spectrum for Liberty. This is the fourth in a series of in-person town halls we have conducted this week. The staff's goal is to hear from the public.
Officials from Liberty in attendance responding to comments and questions and helping customers with any ongoing issues.
So I'm just awfully curious, how did somebody enter a job 9 times and not know they did?
What happened was there was an error in one of the bills, and so that batch, we call them batch, like your jobs, and that batch got held back.
But what happens once the report that this town hall adds to is finished?
I would not predict what the commission will do, but the commission will take this report and use that as the basis for whatever orders it wants to issue to improve the situation for Liberty customers.
In Joplin, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Now, there is no set date on when the report by commission staff is set to be done. However, staff members are to give an update on the report every 90 days. Now let's check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney for a look at the forecast.
Well, we've had some showers that were affecting us earlier in the morning, but you can see we're mostly just dealing with these overcast skies. We do see a little bit of breaks in the clouds, and we're going to see those continuing through the day. Now we're going to have a couple more isolated chances of rain showers through the early to mid-afternoon. It drops off overnight, and then we're back to rain chances on Saturday. Now we did see a little bit of rain this morning. Not a big threat there. A few more showers that are pushing out towards the Columbus Oswego area, out to the west of Pittsburgh, up near Fort Scott as well. Those are going to continue to push through the area for the rest of the day today. Again, we're seeing these intermittent shower chances, pretty light, might only get some sprinkles, and then overcast skies all the way up until this evening. Now, temperatures are warming up to the upper 70s, so overall today is not a bad day, but this weekend we're going to be in the upper 80s. Isolated rain chances on Saturday and then early morning storms on Sunday before it clears out for a pretty nice Father's Day, but I'm going to have that look coming up.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. Well, this morning, the Webb City Fire Department hosted a breakfast to help one of their own. Nathan Lipsey and his wife had their child Dante extremely prematurely at just 25 weeks on May 29th. Now, extremely premature babies, often called micro-preemies, face serious medical challenges. Dante must stay at the NICU until full term, which will be about 13 more weeks. The breakfast was put on to help with increasing medical bills and also help with travel for Nathan and his family as they make multiple trips to and from the hospital.
We've always been a family, a fire family here. So when somebody's dealing with an issue, we always want to help. So we had some firefighters that came up with an idea and we ran with it.
Now, if you would like to contribute to the family, we have provided a link to donate on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. And Cox Health announces a plan to expand access to pediatric care in Southwest Missouri by partnering with St. Louis Children's Hospital. The two will work together to bring more advanced care to children in Springfield and the surrounding region. Now, the partnership hopes this will reduce the need for families to travel long distances for specialty care. A new pediatric hospital will be created to offer specialty care clinics, imaging, lab services, and more.
Roughly a third of our patients, our kids, today have to travel outside of this area to receive care. We know there's almost another 20% of kids that don't travel because they can't afford to. So we know that that mass of that population now will have their home of care right here in the Ozarks.
Construction for this new outpatient center is underway at the Cox South Hospital, and it's expected to be done and open by 2027. The free nursing summer day camp took place yesterday at Pittsburgh State University. Kids ages 7 through 11 were able to participate in several different stations where they learned about CPR, anatomy, simulation, patient care, and more. It was an opportunity for the kids to learn about the different fields of nursing and gain a few extra skills. Well, soldiers from Fort Leonard Wood in Pulaski County, Missouri, gathered at the state capitol to honor the 250th birthday of the United States Army. Ryan Smith attended the event and spoke with soldiers and the lieutenant governor.
Thursday's event is just one of several celebrations taking place this week for soldiers at Fort Leonard Wood. Those include a 250-mile run for the Army's 250th birthday and honoring past service members.
And we had veterans from the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and conflicts since then that hung streamers from their conflict on our U.S. Army colors, and it was great. We had a 94-year-old Korean War veteran out there, and just putting him right next to our young soldiers today was an absolutely unbelievable and frankly chilling event to see. It gave you goosebumps.
To honor the soldiers who came before them, soldiers were dressed in different, authentic period uniforms from as far back as the Revolutionary and Civil Wars.
It's interesting being in these uniforms to see how they actually worked and fit on the soldiers. Obviously, the shoes are very different from how we have them nowadays, and we wouldn't be here without their service.
The United States Army was established on June 14th, 1775. Which is a little over a year before the adoption of the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776, making the U.S. Army older than the country it serves.
So again, we appreciate the United States Army, all the military families, their service for the state of Missouri, for our country. And
a national celebration will take place in Washington, D.C. and that event, which will also feature a wreath-laying ceremony at Arlington National Ceremony, will also include live music, a parade, fireworks, as well as appearances by senior military leaders and veterans. Coming up, a major escalation out of the Middle East as Israel launches a wave of airstrikes against Iran. And later, we're making dinosaur ribs in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. Well, former U.S. Representative Billy Long of Southwest Missouri will lead the Internal Revenue Service. The U.S. Senate yesterday confirmed Long on a 53-44 vote, despite Democrats' concerns about the Republicans' past work for a firm that pitched a fraud-ridden pandemic-era tax break. Now, while in Congress, where he served from 2011 to 2023, Long sponsored legislation to get rid of the IRS. Long has no background in tax administration. Now, before his election to Congress, Long was an auctioneer.
People in Israel are bracing for retaliation by Iran, stocking up on food and essentials.
I hope everything will be quiet. We want peace.
Israeli hospitals also prepared underground facilities after the country launched a wave of strikes overnight aimed at Iran's nuclear program.
Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival. This operation will continue for as many days as it takes.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israeli warplanes struck more than 100 targets and killed leading nuclear scientists and at least 3 top Iranian generals. Damage could also be seen in this residential neighborhood, with Iran's supreme leader vowing severe punishment.
World leaders are calling for de-escalation, and the Trump administration stresses the U.S. was not part of the operation. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the top priority is protecting American forces in the region.
President Trump on social media warned Iran it will only get worse unless they come to the negotiating table, saying Iran must make a nuclear deal before there is nothing left. Dan Raviv is a veteran journalist covering the Middle East.
What he put on Truth Social this morning means that he does see the Israeli airstrikes as a leverage on Iran. And he warned that more attacks are planned and they will be more brutal. That indicates that he is in on what the Israelis are planning.
Iran state media says Iran no longer plans to participate in nuclear talks with the U.S. that had been scheduled for this weekend. The U.S. still hopes to resume them. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Well, still to come on KLEM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Grab a stack of napkins because you're going to need them for the humongous ribs we're making today. The best part? You'll have the recipe in time for Father's Day.
And we have weekend rain chances. I'll have those details coming up. Well, if you were lucky enough to get a little rained on this morning, well, that's pretty much going to be the theme for the weekend. We have more rain chances sticking around. We are actually under a flood warning, so let's go ahead and take a look outside. We've got a flood warning up in the Osage River through Sunday evening, just north of Nevada, and that's due to all of the rain that we're going to see, what we saw this morning and what we're going to see for the rest of the weekend. We're also down in Miami under a flood advisory until Monday morning. So I'm not going to be surprised if a few more of those start to pop up around the area, especially along rivers, Neosho River, Osage River, just because we're already at capacity with most of our rivers and we've had saturated soils due to all of the rainfall that we've seen for the last couple of weeks. Now, through the morning, we did see a heavier amount of rainfall on the Missouri side and then just clipping a few of our Kansas, Oklahoma counties. But now as we're heading into the afternoon, we've got a few more showers that are going to want to rotate out of our area soon, but still bringing a few sprinkles to the area. Just inconvenient really to be outside when it's all sprinkling and drizzle. But you can see downtown Pittsburgh looking good, dry roads, still overcast skies though. Now, out in 7th and Rangeline, temperatures are warming up to the mid-70s already, so we're about 74 degrees. Might be a little bit cooler out there just because we have had rain, but it's also going to feel a little sticky due to the rain evaporating as we head through the afternoon hours. Now it is mostly cloudy, but we get a few peaks of the sunshine through the rest of the afternoon. Until later on this evening, all the clouds start to break apart. Temperatures reach the upper 70s today, around 77 to 78. Overnight is when clouds really start to clear, but not for long because we have more rain showers that are going to push in on Saturday. Now you can see by 4:30 a couple more isolated showers. These are going to be mostly isolated, not a huge threat for most of us. 8:30 you can see a few more showers popping up in Oklahoma, northeast Oklahoma into southeastern Kansas. Those continue to push in, really just dissipating as they make it across into the Missouri side. But again, we're seeing these consistently popping up throughout the day. Now this is 7:30 on Saturday. Overcast skies if you're not getting any rain chances south of I-44. Get some rain chances down near Pineville and Cassville, and then up near Fort Scott, Butler area. By the evening, we're looking pretty good, though we do have more thunderstorms that are going to roll in overnight Saturday and into Sunday morning. By 6 a.m., a few of our northern counties getting that heavy rain chances. Those are going to continue to push through the area and then breaking apart for the rest of the afternoon on Sunday. We could see a good 1/10 of an inch to 2.5 inches of rain. You can see out near Coffeyville, 2.5 in some isolated areas as we make it through the rest of the weekend. But outside of that, not looking at a severe threat. Again, just this extra rainfall could lead to flooding effects, but not seeing a severe threat with anything this weekend. Now Saturday, we're getting into the upper 80s. We've got those isolated rain chances and shower chances. Sunday morning until early afternoon, we do have that thunderstorm that could be pushing through, and it could be a bit stronger, but still really not looking at a severe threat there. Now, all of that clears out. By Monday, you can see we're in the upper 80s, low 90s for the rest of the week, and the sun comes back out. So it's going to give us plenty of chances to dry out. You see Wednesday there, we do have a random storm popping up, probably because of the heat. And we're going to see that now moving forward because it's more summertime like now with those temperatures in the 90s. Really, though, what we're going to be dealing with this week is now, instead of the rain and the flooding that we've been seeing for weeks, the heat index is going to be high. Low 90s with the heat index in the upper 90s most likely.
Oof.
So
I'm not ready for it.
Yeah, quick turnaround, honestly.
It certainly is. All right, Lindsay, thanks. And stick around. We're making dinosaur ribs in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Stick around. We'll be right back. Well, these larger than life hearty ribs are not only big on size, but on taste too. Now, since they bake up in the oven, you can enjoy them all year round, no matter the weather. Today, Howard's making dinosaur ribs in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
I've got a question. How come on Mother's Day we try to come up with just the right thing to make for Mom so she doesn't have to cook, or we take her out? But on Father's Day, Dad's often the one doing the cooking. So here's a recipe to try out this weekend, no matter who's wearing the Kiss the Cook apron. They're beef ribs, which are big in size and huge when it comes to flavor. We begin by combining some ground cumin, dried oregano, and crushed thyme, along with a bit of chili powder, garlic powder, and some salt. After this gets mixed, we rub it over some beef ribs. And if you're not familiar with them, they're cut from above the prime rib, so they're really flavorful. After roasting them uncovered for about an hour, we'll slather them with some barbecue sauce, and back into the oven they go until they're super tender. The results are ribs that are so big, so tender, and so flavorful, you won't be able to stop eating them. Just make sure you have plenty of napkins. To get this recipe in time for Father's Day, all you have to do is visit our website and type in dinosaur ribs. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a monstrously big way for Dad to say, "Ooh, it's so good."
Well, you can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Now let's take a look at the 4-state market prices.
Well, we have rain showers sticking around through the rest of the weekend. Isolated showers on Saturday, thunderstorms in the morning on Sunday. They should clear out to give us a decent, at least evening time for Father's Day. Might get a little bit of a chance to go out and grill for Dad on Sunday.
Oh, that'll be nice. Yeah. Sounds good. All right, Lindsay, thanks. Well, coming up tonight at 5, tomorrow marks World Blood Donor Day, a day to celebrate the millions of blood donors who save lives every year with their gifts. Now we're going to take a look at why the summer months are usually a difficult time for the nation's blood supply. Plus, still not sure what to get Dad this Sunday. We'll visit with some area shoppers for some Father's Day inspiration. And local authors unite for a book sale and signing to support the Ronald McDonald House of the 4 States. You can join us for those stories and more on KOAM News at 5. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. Have a great rest of your day.